What's going on, everybody? I'm back with some more KJK VIP NBA player props. Get you win some money over on Prizepicks and Betr Picks tonight in the NBA streets. Got a Betr Picks 6-pick dynamic play that I did just lock in myself, that I did just send over to my VIP members that I'm just sharing here with you guys for free on the channel today. Excited to get into the breakdown. If you enjoy the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you do not have the Betr Picks app, I would highly recommend you get it. You're going to get some better value on some of these plays that we're going to discuss, like you can see on the screen right now. With Jusuf Nurkic, who has been bumped up to 26 fantasy score even, you can get 25.5 on Betr Picks, which, believe it or not, is going to be a really big deal. That'll apply to the couple of the picks as we go along here. Nurkic just got bumped like as soon as I came on. I actually was looking forward to being able to promote that at the same line. But anyways, they're going to match you up to $200 on Betr Picks with my promo code KJKDFS, my link down below. Some of these picks will apply to Prizepicks too. Try to help you guys out in the Prizepicks streets. If you don't have the Prizepicks app, they're also going to hook you up with a sweet deal of $50 when you play $5 instantly, right? So all you got to do is use my promo code KJKDFS, use my link down below. I'll pin it as the top comment. You play $5, you're going to get $50 instantly. You'll get a bunch of different bonuses with my promo code, my links. Get that extra cash in your account. And then use these picks to, run up some money, win some more money. If you're looking to get access to every single one of my plays as soon as I place them, if these free picks help you out, keep in mind these are actual plays that I'm playing. It's just one ticket. I'm coming on, breaking it down. I'll have a bunch more plays over in the VIP later with NBA. There's going to be a lot more plays locked in an hour before tip-off and an hour after tip-off because we're dealing with constant injury news. So these videos I try to get out as soon as I can, but guys, I got to be honest, it's really not smart to be locking in too early in NBA. It's a lot smarter to be waiting. So a lot of the stuff I can't do on this free content, I can do over in my VIP Discord. Would highly recommend you join over there. And I'm going to try to win you enough money to where you can just join for free, Win the money off the free picks that I give out, win the money off the VIP picks that I'm giving out for free, and then you can buy it and get that comment all the time. I got no issues with it, man. That's what you need out of me. I'd recommend jumping in there as soon as you can, though. Just get straight to the point and start winning, right? Jusuf Nurkic over 25.5 fantasy score, first play on this ticket. We can go ahead and break it down. Why do I like this play? We got Bradley Beal listed as questionable in this one. Not sure if he's going to play tonight. If he is ruled out, that would certainly help this play. But we got a 228.5 over-under in this game. 116.25 implied total for the Phoenix Suns. 112.25 implied total for the LA Lakers. So game is expected to stay close. We're looking at a 4 spread right now. And yeah, the only injury news we're waiting on is this Bradley Beal injury news. If he's out, that would just help this Jusuf Nurkic play even more. But as far as the projected minutes, we have Bradley Beal projected in right now. And I still have Nurkic going over with the 25 minutes. They have Anthony Davis down low. So obviously if we're playing, a big, we're going to want them to be in a matchup where there's an opposing center where he's going to be out there on the floor for a lot of minutes. And when it comes to the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format, if you're not familiar with it, guys, and Betr Picks, they have the same exact fantasy scoring format that I'm about to break down here. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be 1 point for every point, 1.2 for every rebound, 1.5 for every assist, 3 points for every block, 3 points for every steal, and -1 for turnovers. Okay, that's how that's going to break down as far as the Prizepicks app. And then, like I said, guys, on Betr Picks, it is the same thing, right? I'll go ahead and bring it up for you just to kind of show. This is what we're looking at on Betr Picks. You can see, same thing, 3-point field goals made, 3 points, 2 point free throws, 1.2 for the rebound, 1.5 for the assists, 3 for blocks and steals, and -1 for turnovers, okay? So it's the same fantasy scoring format we're reviewing here together, which does make it easy. Some other apps will be different, okay? So it's important to know the fantasy scoring format on the app that you're using. Both Prizepicks and Betr Picks do have the same fantasy scoring format. So the only difference in this pick is going to be you can get a half-point discount on Betr Picks, which, believe it or not, can pay off. Just going to throw that out there. It's up to you. Just trying to give you free plays here. But, yeah, Jusuf Nurkic, you break down this matchup, right? Let's go ahead and use our handy-dandy tools over at Outlier, guys. If you're not familiar with this tool, would highly recommend you check them out. It's a tool that I'm using every single day for my NBA research, where we can go ahead and break down matchups. Every single thing under the sun that you would want to be looking at for Jusuf Nurkic, you can see over his last 10 games, he's hitting this at an 80% hit rate. And then obviously, if we're taking the fantasy score, we want the opposing team to be giving up a lot of points, assists, etc. overall. And the Lakers have been getting up a ton of assists to centers. They're 27th in the entire league as far as the assists given up. Not giving up quite as many points, but then blocks and steals are always going to be a nice bonus for you. If you're able to get blocks and steals in the fantasy scoring format, like I brought up, guys, it's 3 points for every block and steal. They can really add up. If you've been watching my content throughout the years, you probably know this because I talk about it like a broken record. But like, dude, blocks and steals, if you're targeting the over fantasy score for someone, is a really big deal. It can really help you rack up those fantasy points, right? So Yusuf Nurkic, a guy, 1 block, 5 steals in this game, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 steals. I always want to be targeting guys with block and steal upside if I'm taking it over, and I'm always factoring in the block and steal upside if I'm taking it under as well, right? Ideally, if we're taking it under, we would prefer a guy that doesn't really contribute in the blocks and steals and also has a turnover issue. Always makes us happy. The center position, we want him to be getting a lot of rebounds. They're 19th overall. And then yeah, as far as his minutes out there on the floor, all that stuff, 25.7 minutes per game on average. And when we're taking on an opponent in the LA Lakers, I kind of already talked about it, but, we want, obviously, there to be another big on the floor that the Suns have to play big and Yusuf Nurkic be out there, and that is the case with Anthony Davis down low. In this, particular case, AD is a guy that's projected to go out there and play like 37 minutes. So I have projected right now Yusuf Nurkic playing 25. I would actually argue that's probably low, man. Like, they're going to need him out there to guard Anthony Davis, right? So that's all factored in. Then I use a bunch of different projection models. Multiple ones have been projected over. That's a positive pace differential. I do have Yusuf Nurkic projected to go out there tonight and score right around like 32 fantasy points. That's from a base projection aspect. He has a floor. He could get in foul trouble. He could go way over that. But we're looking at like his worst game on the downside. I haven't projected like his lowest to be 22. His ceiling 42, right in the middle 31. So even if he has a really bad game, he's like almost pushing this fantasy score. So that's all factored into these models, right? So yeah, Yusuf Nurkic going to be play number 1. We could certainly look at the minutes as well. It's something I want to be bringing up. Obviously, we need the guy out there on the floor for minutes for the Phoenix Suns. What has he been playing lately? Like I said, I think the projection could be a little low on him. He went out there and played 30 minutes last time out against the same Lakers squad, right, with Anthony Davis down low. So we kind of already got a sample size. There was no Bradley Beal in that one, but being that he's the center, we're not too worried about that. So anyways, Yusuf Nurkic, play number 1, fantastic play here. Play number 2, you saw me brought up, is going to be the Deni Avdija over 25.5 fantasy score. I believe this is a prop we can get on Prizepicks, and it got bumped. Bro, this is crazy, man. None of these plays were bumped like this prior to me recording. Like, this is actually happening in real time. Fox was bumped. Deni and Yusuf Nurkic were not bumped up. Fox was bumped up to 41 even. He's actually all the way up to 41.5 now. So this is a good, like, dude, I mean, the value we're getting on the 1 point discount and the 0.5 discount on fantasy score, I can't say it enough. It actually is a really big deal, right? So take advantage on Betr Picks. If you don't have the Betr Picks app, would be my recommendation. If you want to play the bump on Prizepicks and you lose by 0.5, it's not my fault. I tried to help you. But the Deni Avdija fantasy score, we can certainly go ahead and break him down, right? How many minutes is he getting for this Portland squad? What's the game environment looking like? It's a Sacramento-Portland game. Both these guys are going to be in the same exact game, so we can go ahead and pull it up here. What are we looking at for a total? First of all, Deni Avdija, a guy that's been out there on the floor for 30, 31 minutes respectively. He can't get a lot of blocks and steals, which is all something I was talking about already. But Portland-Sacramento, we're looking at a 230.5 over-under, 13-point spread in favor of Sacramento. So really the only thing that kind of scares us a little bit is the blowout possibility. But truthfully, I'm never weighing that into my projections. You never know when blowouts are going to happen. And that's really just sums it up. I wouldn't recommend playing the blowout narrative too much. You can't predict blowout. There's going to be games with a 2-point spread that turn into a blowout, and there's going to be games with a huge spread that turn into a blowout in the NBA. So that's just my recommendation. And then the other thing I was going to say is, being that we're playing 2 guys in the same exact game, if Denny's going off, Fox, Deni keeps them in the game, Fox comes back, the game stays close. It's going to help our ticket overall. So hopefully that all makes sense. But anyways, Deni, a guy that is getting some heavy minutes, 30 minutes overall. We can go ahead and look at his production, right? We can go ahead and look at these outlier tools. How is he contributing? What does the matchup look like? And I do have him projected over all these models. We can talk about it. But Deni, I've got him going out there and getting like 30 fantasy points. His floor being 24 fantasy points, which he's done a couple of times here. Like, he's just came up short of this fantasy score. Do not expect that to continue. He is a guy that can really contribute in every single category. If you've been kind of around the NBA for a while, You probably know this guy. He's kind of like a hidden gem as far as the fantasy scoring department is concerned. The over 25.5 fantasy score, you can see like he's had games putting up 62, 46. Obviously, he was on Washington. It's a different team now on Portland, but still, he still has a role. He's still out there on the floor for 30 minutes. That's all factored into my projections, right? His new role, his new minutes. And then, like I said, we talk about the steals and the blocks, right? That's just my favorite thing to talk about when it comes to fantasy score, I'll be honest. Like 4 blocks, 3 blocks, 5 blocks, and steals. Here at the small forward position, as far as the matchup's concerned, he can dish out a lot of assists as well, which once again add up quick in that fantasy scoring format. Like, I already pulled it up on the screen and broke it down for you guys, but when you're talking about a guy that can get a bunch of assists, 1.5 for every assist, a bunch of blocks and steals, 3 points for every blocks and steals, and then his line's set like very moderately, it does certainly really make me like this prop. And then honestly, the Prizepicks is very smart at what they do. Both of these props were not bumped up at the time of me placing that play over on Betr, truthfully. And now they both moved up. So it's like the Prizepicks algorithm is also agreeing with my projections, which I'm not going to lie, makes me feel better about the plays. So the Nurkic over fantasy score, the Denny Avdija, De'Aaron Fox over 40.5 fantasy score, same thing. He got bumped up to 41.5 even on Prizepicks, so I'd recommend taking it on Betr if you have both apps. It's just smart to take the discount. Luka Doncic, another phenomenal play here tonight. I have him going over by a pretty sizable margin. 56.5 fantasy score. I've got this guy going out there and getting in the 60s. Luka, we know he can like literally do it all. So I will just get straight to the point here as we go along. Utah giving up 40.5 fantasy points per game to point guards, giving up 7 assists. He's averaging like over 60.5 in 14 high-scoring games, averaging over 60 in heavily favored games. All stuff that's going into my models here, right? And you can see this game, we're looking at a pretty great total of 232 over under, 122 implied total for the Mavericks. So they are expected to put up the better half of the scoring, with Luka being the point guard, with him doing the scoring, the assisting, all the above. Should be in a really good position to be able to put up a bunch of fantasy points. And then we have the Lauri Markkanen over rebounds. At the time of, once again, before recording, this was available on both apps, and it got bumped up on Prizepicks. This is insane. None of these plays were bumped prior to me recording this. Like, I am not making this up, man. And then the Sengun assist is a phenomenal prop, and Prizepicks is not listing it. So this is wild, man. The only prop you can get the same line on Prizepicks and Betr is Luka Doncic, which I do love that play. So go ahead and lock that in. But the Lauri Markkanen over 6.5 rebounds is going to be a really phenomenal prop, and now it's been bumped up on Prizepicks once again. It wasn't bumped up prior to me recording this, I swear. So let's go ahead and bring it in here to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. If you are not familiar, guys, Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, guys, is a tool that I'm using every single day to find the very best value on these apps. You can see across the entire board for the Lauri Markkanen over 6.5 rebounds, the best possible prop you can be taken on Betr with a 53.21% hit rate. Why is that? Because we have all these sports books with millions of dollars of data dumped into taking the props, pricing them at the appropriate lines, and you can see he's all out to minus 148 on FanDuel. If you were to log into FanDuel Sportsbook right now, you're going to have to risk $148 to win 100 on the Lauri Markkanen over 6.5 rebounds. Pinnacle, known as the sharpest sportsbook in the world, has him up to minus 143. BetOnline, another sharp book, has him up to minus 149. We also have DraftKings, Caesars, 125, 145 on Bovada. And honestly, a lot of times these markets can kind of catch up to each other, right? So I'm looking to lock this in early when I see some action moving towards the over, such as Pinnacle, such as FanDuel, in the hopes that I can beat these apps before they remove them. And then I'd love to see DraftKings climb up to like 140. I'd love to see Caesars climb up to 140 prior to tip-off. That's going to make me feel really good about my process, and that I kind of beat the bumps, beat the removals on these apps, right? Which literally just happened on Prizepicks. So I love this play. And then the other play that you can't get on Prizepicks is the Alperen Sengun assists, which is once again a really good prop here. We're looking at a 53.13% chance to hit with minus 144 on Pinnacle, minus 140 on FanDuel, minus 130 on DraftKings, minus 142 BetOnline, all the way to 145 again on Bovada. Another just really, really good prop that we unfortunately can't get on Prizepicks, but we can get on Betr, right? And we can certainly break it down using the outlier tools as well. There's going to be a bunch of different underlying metrics that are going to support these plays. Naturally, because the over 3.5, you can see it's a plus EV play on BetMGM at -120 because we're getting -145 the big odds on Pinnacle, -143 on BetOnline. Like two really sharp books. He's all the way up to -155 on Underdog, just heavily favoring the over here for Alperen Sengun assists. And then we look at the matchup, right? Overall, they're 24th in the entire league, are his opponent in the San Antonio Spurs, giving up assists, giving up 28 assists per game. That's 24th. And then he is at the center position, so we can break it down. 13th, kind of middle of the road. But he is kind of more of a power forward, small forward at times, too. The power forward position, he's 22nd overall. Sengun's not really your typical just sit-down low guy. He's exceeded 3.5 assists in 15 of his last 19 games versus bottom 10 defenses for assists allowed with a 4.9 assists per game average in those exact matchups, right? Outlier bringing a bunch of different valuable data for us here to break that down. And this is the matchup he has tonight, right? A team that's giving up a ton of assists. In these similar matchups, he's just been absolutely crushing. And then let's bring in that Lauri Markkanen prop as well for you guys so you can get some more data here on the rebounds for Lauri Markkanen. Type them in here. You can see the over rebounds. I like to sort it by implied probability. We can also just, click on the guy and then click on the rebounds category to make it quick. -144 to Vic odds once again on Pinnacle, -149 on BetOnline. Some really sharp action, -155 on Underdog. And we look at the rebounds allowed. The opposing team in the Dallas Mavericks are 25th in the entire league, allowing 45.1 rebounds per game. All good, right? Lauri plays the power forward position. You could say he's a small forward as well. Same as Sengun, right? Where they're going to kind of just be like a hybrid forward. 21st in the league versus small forwards, 15th in the league versus power forwards, but overall, just giving up a ton of rebounds, right? And then Lauri has exceeded 6.5 rebounds in 13 of his last 15 games versus bottom 10 defenses for rebounds allowed, averaging 8.7 rebounds per game on average. That's an 87% hit rate. These sports books know all these things, right? So Outlier does a great job of bringing in the sports books odds and then also all the statistics. And you're going to find oftentimes, like, just look at the odds. You're going to see they're favorited. Do some research on Outlier, and all of the underlying metrics are going to kind of match up here. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. These sharp markets heavily favoring it. Then you look at the statistics in the matchup. Once again, like, that's why I look at market data so much. We saved ourselves a lot of time. Just boom, 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 button, market, data, lock it in. Outlier can help you out with that. 7 days free down below if you want this tool, guys. Would highly recommend you check them out. I know, fortunately, it got bumped up on Prizepicks, so I was hitting the record button looking to come on here and share with you guys the Deni Avdija prop that was not bumped up. The Jusuf Nurkic prop that was not bumped up. Fox was bumped to 41 even. Luka was not bumped, and Lauri Markkanen was not bumped. I literally didn't see this happen. I hit the record button, and as I'm scrolling the board, they're all bumped. So welcome to Prizepicks in 2024. My recommendation is you lock these in over on Betr where you're getting better value. Let's do a quick little breakdown of the plays we just reviewed. Cannot get the Sengun assist on Prizepicks once again, which was one we talked about for the last one, right? Sorry, wish we could, but they don't have it listed. So I'd recommend locking in over on Betr. If you can find it on another app, feel free, but we can't do it. So, all right, guys, let's review these plays. Once again, 6-pick dynamic play over on Betr. If you want to get the exact plays, you're going to need the Betr app. They'll match you up to $200, and here's what it is. Jusuf Nurkic over. Once again, 6-pick dynamic play is what you want to be running on here. If you get 4 to correct, you're going to get a little bit of profit. 5 correct, you're going to get even more profit. 6 correct, you're going to 20x your money. It's the best It's the best optimal type to run, similar to Prizepicks of the 6-pick flex. But in this case, if you only get 4 right, you're actually going to profit money on Prizepicks. If you only get 4 right, you're going to lose money. Jusuf Nurkic over 25.5 fantasy points. Deni Avdija over 25.5 fantasy points. De'Aaron Fox over 40.5 fantasy points. Luka Doncic over 56.5 fantasy points. The Lauri Markkanen over 6.5 rebounds. And the Alperen Sengun over 3.5 assists. Unfortunately, the only prop you're going to be able to get at the same exact line on Prizepicks is going to be Luka Doncic, which I love the Luka play tonight. So definitely be taking that on Prizepicks. But yeah, man, that is what we got here for our 6 props for free on the channel here today. So feel free to tail that. Hopefully win y'all a bunch of money. If you enjoyed the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. I will have more props. I will have more props leading up to tip-off, after tip-off over in the VIP. This is just one ticket coming on, breaking down the process. If you want to get access to all those plays as soon as I place them, go ahead and join the VIP right now. You're going to get access to my VIP Discord and get access to every single one of those plays. You would have got access to this one. So you can beat all those bumps, get all these plays locked in and get the very best value. Thank you for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, your Betr Picks NBA player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.